My name's Jeff Fatt, and I'm the original Purple Wiggle. It used to be Anthony that would fall asleep and the children got to wake Anthony up. But it really suited me because it was a bit of a mask. I'd actually say I'm very shy and introverted.
1, 2, 3.
Because I was the only non-preschool teacher and I had very little experience in dealing with children. It was a way of getting me involved on stage, and as it turns out, it's such an empowering thing for a child to be able to wake up a grown-up. I do recall Anthony said, you know that this is going to have quite a lasting impact, so you won't be able to live this down from here on. Originally, our skivvies weren't skivvies. On the very first album cover, we were wearing these very bright, garish-looking shirts. To be able to have one particular colour was easier for a child to identify who the Wiggle was. So we each rushed out and laid claim to a particular colour skivvy. The red and the blue were already chosen, so I chose purple, which really suited me. And Greg ended up with the yellow skivvy, which I would not like to have had. I grew up in northern New South Wales, in a small country town called Casino. My father was a storekeeper, and he and his brothers had a general store in Casino called Kwong Sing and Company. We never felt like outsiders, except we would get sporadic racist slurs, but that was not the majority of the time. There were 5 children in the family, and we were all made to learn piano, and that was invariably at the local convent. There was a very strict learning process, sometimes involving the ruler and the rap across the knuckles. And that was in the 60s, so when I became a teenager, I became more interested in things like Beatles, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix. That happened to be our sound guy, Peter Mackey, who was in the Dorothy costume. I don't know why, maybe the real Dorothy was sick at the time. We had the trailer, we had a suitcase full of cassettes. Greg would set up the PA, so it was all hands-on. It was like a big adventure for us, so we didn't know what was going to happen from one day to the next. In America, we got to the point where we were actually touring around the country with 3 cast and crew tour buses and 3 fully laden semi-trailers. I do recall the time Robert De Niro was in the audience. Yeah, Robert De Niro was there to see us, but